Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stockminer, Brian Johnson. I'm making professional trading simple. Sorry this is getting out so late. Don't think it's going to be that big of a big problem for anybody, but since there's no trading going on tomorrow, I was working with a student. I wanted to get a bunch of stuff done before we cut for the holiday break. So anyway, I was just looking at the charts and noticed that the S&P has moved a grand total of about 12 points from Tuesday morning to the close of today. So if you've been on the road traveling, doing other stuff, believe me, you're not missing anything at this point. So good for you for just taking the time with the family, because you haven't really missed anything in the markets at all. And I doubt you're going to miss much on Friday as well. So back to work on Monday for sure. I will still do a video Friday, but it'll probably be pretty quick and pretty abbreviated like this one will be. So looking at the markets, you can see the 60-minute slowly climbing up. I mentioned this is probably what's going to happen. We're going to see this all dry up as the week progresses. That's precisely what happened. Not much to talk about in here, just straight sideways chop type action. Really nothing to be playing in here. Couple of equity plays here and there to the upside, downside, but otherwise the indices, blah, not much to do. But pushing and knocking on the door again of these highs up here, looking to break 10.5 on the Dow. Maybe we get enough power to do that on Friday. It's an abbreviated session, and with Black Friday maybe stirring the pot and people out shopping, and maybe retail starts to drag things up or pull things up, it's anybody's guess. Just be careful if you're going to do some trading on Friday. Make sure you're out Friday night. And let's just wait till Monday to really start things over again. So chopping sideways on the market, still in this channel that we've been watching. This just looks like a big bear flag to me, waiting for a break either above it or below it to really give us some idea of a good interest. I like over 10.5 for the Dow, though. If you want to take a little bit of a long over there, I think that might be pretty defensible. I don't know if I'd be playing it longer than a day or so, but it's still something you can look at if you'd like to. Here you can see today's volume really, really low. Makes total sense. Notice how this upper trend line still is holding extremely well. So it's still, a shorting opportunity up here with a very safe, quick stop right above it, going into even Friday and into next week. I would still be waiting till Monday to see if we get more of a directional move on Monday. NDX moving straight sideways here, trapped in between this support and this resistance area, looking for a break above 1800, then a break above 1815 if you want to get long. Still in this rising wedge, so the bulls are still keeping it to the upside. The bears have not been able to pull it down and below any kind of major support that would lead me to believe that we're in for a next big, huge bear run as of yet. Still waiting for that big move. NDX on a weekly. Here now we pretty almost closed. Wouldn't surprise me to see us maybe poke a little bit higher on Friday, but still close below this big resistance line here. SPX on a 60-minute, right back up to the highs again. Here you see we've retested this area once here. Going to retest it once here. The more times it's retested, the better chance it has of breaking through. So be watching this area going into Friday. From a daily standpoint, still watching this bigger channel that we're looking at. These big fat blue lines here are what we're looking at going forward. That's why we're looking for that break over, 11:15-ish area. Maybe gets us up and over it for a short time. But these are our next resistance levels to watch in the future. From a weekly standpoint, didn't quite retest this underside here, but maybe next week is where we get this bigger test up here. Don't know if the market's going to move this much. This is probably 1140 up in this area. That's an awful long ways to move on a Friday, abbreviated session. I just don't see it moving quite that much. VIX on a daily, though, continues. Now, today it was up. It's flat. It's up a penny. It's flat on the day. Seeing it kind of put in a double bottom. It really likes to bounce off this $20 area, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. It likes to bounce off that $20 area, but a break below that takes it to this line. Still not much to talk about on a weekly time frame, except that this dotted line is holding and still holding very nicely right now as support. Apple down 25 cents. Look at this straight sideways action. Still looking for a break above 206 if you want to get long that stock. Same thing here. Look how this overhead resistance is holding very, very nicely on Apple so far, but super low volume here. No real direction or no indication of any real direction just based on that in coming into the holiday week. AINV, same thing. No real breaks here, especially today. I mean, this would have been a pretty defensible short if you want to take it up here at this double topping area. Pretty logical place for it to at least bounce or pause off of. But even so, $9.70 to $9.61. A 9-cent move. I mean, nothing's moving right now. Everything's chopping sideways. Same thing here. No defensible place to get long or short there. CTB on a 60-minute. Broke above. Did hold above this. I said this is still bullish action. But it's still, there's just not enough volume in the markets to make these things go anywhere. So they're great plays. They were fantastic picks. But there's no volume to push them one direction or another. So here we sit, moving straight sideways on the equities. EDU on a 60-minute. Come on. EDU on a 60-minute. Here, break out of this, move back down here to support, holding well on support, but hasn't moved from support for about 2 days, 3 days here, 2 days here. Just hasn't gone anywhere. So no trade in EDU today. Nothing to do here. Same thing on a daily. Nothing to do here yet. ESS on a 60-minute. Broke this trend line, pulled back into support, bounced up and off of it from here. So this one still gave you a good dollar move or so over the last couple of days. But this was only one of the few equities that were actually worth playing, especially from an intraday standpoint, where you got a great entry right back down here at a strong support level. I played it to the long side, but in a swing trading environment, it has not broke this triangle, either to the up or to the down, so there's no play there all week long. However, we are getting close, so this will be one to watch going into Friday, maybe into early next week. FAS down 22 cents. You can see this, the volume just drying up. There's nothing to be playing here. Here we're up above this support line and up above this other support line here, but once again, 22 cents, high of 77, low of 75, a $2 move today, but most of it was on a gap, so really not much to talk about in FAS. FAZ is going to be the same way. Look at these little teeny tiny candles. These are 60-minute candles, and you can barely see them because the price didn't move anywhere at all. Same thing here on a swing trading standpoint. No break above here, no break below here, so nothing to be playing. FAZ. SRS had this nice gap down, but ran up all week long. Lots of support below it. Hard to play it long, hard to play it short because it was trapped in between here. Same thing on it today, just straight sideways. Look at these little teeny tiny dojis. I have to zoom in to a infinite degree to even see what these candles look like here. So the candles today, very, very low volume and no movement to these stocks whatsoever. So not much to be doing here. So we're going to keep watching this on Friday, see if we break this 10,500 area here or the 1115 area on the SPX. If we do, there might be entries for some plays come Friday. Otherwise, I'm really just expecting maybe quick moves again on Friday, and then it's just going to dwindle and die off as the day goes on, as less and less people get interested in doing anything with the markets on that day. They're still traveling, they're hanging out with family, and I would just suggest you do the same. So from the Johnson family to all the other families out there, thank you so much for the emails I've already received. I hope you guys are traveling safely. I hope you're taking your time with your family. This is the time to hang out with them as much as you love them or hate them or whatever the case is. The truth of the matter is, when you break it all down, guys, when you're on your deathbed, your house isn't going to be there, your cars aren't going to be there, your money isn't going to be there. It's going to be your family that's there for you. So like them or hate them, it doesn't matter. They're your family. Make things right. If they're not right with your family, make things right with them. And just, get over it. Whatever it is, grow up, get over it, move on, and get on with life. Because, like I said, when you're on your deathbed, nothing else is going to be there except your family. And that, at that point, is going to be the most important thing in your life. So think about that. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend. I'll be back with you Friday afternoon for a really quick vid. And then once again, we're going to hammer it hard coming into a new week. It's going to end the month. Next week ends the month and starts December. So things ought to really start to pick up next week. So have a blessed Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you guys again Friday, and then for sure on Sunday. Bye.